Does a woman's body count matter? Yes, it does. And today, you're going to find out why. What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, but I ain't Mr. Rogers. It's your boy, Mike Watts, and I'm here to give it to you raw and direct every time, all the time. Today, I want to talk about body count. Body count, body count, body count. It's a topic that obviously a lot of people talking about, a lot of people feel like it should matter in a woman, like it shouldn't matter in a woman, like it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, it's an issue. But today I want to talk about how it's an issue with women and why men care about body count so much. Now I'm going to start off by giving a little stat like I sometimes do. A woman with 10 plus bodies is 33% likely to have failed relationships. 33% less likely to have successful relationships. So that being said, sometimes women might say, "Oh, I was going through my whole phase, or I was going through this phase of my life and everything like that." Yeah, all right, I get it. All right, you was going through whatever it is you was going through, but you can't escape the issue of if a guy has a problem with your body count. Now, yeah, most women are going to lie about it because a guy has no way of knowing what it actually is anyway, unless she lies. You know what I'm saying? So most women going to lie. But women, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know who y'all are. So let's talk about this real quick. The value of a woman comes from people wanting her, but not being able to have her. That's what creates a woman's value. Not her degrees, her money, and nothing like that. That's what creates her value to a man. Now, her personal value and all that, that's something else, or whatever the case may be. But to a man, that's what creates her value. People wanting her, but not being able to have her. Every man wants a woman that every man wants, but no man can have. Because if every man already had you, or if any man can have you, then the man that actually has you doesn't have anything valuable. I mean, think about it. If diamonds was everywhere on the street, why would they be valuable? If anybody can have a diamond, if diamonds was just, all over the street and just anywhere on every corner and everything like that, like glass, and everybody can have it, would it have value? No, because anybody can have it. What creates value in any object or anything is the fact that a person can't have it, or anybody can't have it. So that's why diamonds are valuable. Because like I said, if they was everywhere on the street, then they would have no value, or they would have a lot less value, like glass. So that's why there's a difference between glass and diamonds. That being said, women with high body counts typically are novelty seekers, have validation issues. They carry a lot of emotional baggage from past relationships, trauma from past relationships, also validation issues from wondering why, certain guys in the past just wanted to have sex with them and not create a relationship with them, or whatever the case may be. A woman that's carrying all this with her, bringing all this into a relationship, are you sure, as a man, are you sure you would want this woman to be the nurturer in your home? This is what guys battle with the whole body count issue. The type of girls that have high body counts are typically those type of girls that have all those issues. Some, a few of those issues, some, all of those issues, but all have a lot of those issues that I mentioned. So a guy looks at it as, all right, well, do I want this woman to be my wife? Do I want this woman to, do I want to create a family with this woman with all these issues, all this baggage? Real seeker, novelty seeker? Am I just a novelty? What happens when a novelty wears off? You understand what I'm saying? So now, and even worse, do I want this woman to be raising my children? Do I want this woman to raise my children? Especially if I have a daughter, but my children in general. So that's what guys battle with. This is more than just, oh, she slept with a lot of dudes, so I'm insecure with my size or anything. No, it's nothing like that. So stop with the bull of, oh, well, he just feel this kind of way because he's insecure. No, no. Yeah, well, maybe he feel insecure about going into a relationship with you because it's more than likely going to be a failed relationship. It's a high probability that it's going to be a failed relationship. Okay, let's bring up a chart from the Institution of Family Studies, IFS, and we're going to dig a little deeper into this situation. You know what I'm saying? Bring it up. Okay, here we have a chart from the Institution of Family Studies. It shows the chance of divorce after 5 years of marriage and how it correlates to a woman's body count. If a woman has 0 partners, she has just a 5% chance of divorcing you. Now, once she has 1 partner, that number jumps up to 20%. She has a 20% chance of divorcing. Now, once that number jumps up to 2 partners, just 2 partners, she has a 30% chance of divorcing you after 5 years. Okay, so then once her body count goes up to 3 partners, the number goes down to 26%. And then when she has 4 to 5 partners, the number goes even further down to 25%. And 6 to 9 partners, it still stays in the 25, 27% range of divorcing you after 5 years of marriage. Now, what's interesting is how the number goes down, the percentage goes down with more partners. Now, I know most of my guys in the red pill community would say, oh, the more partners, the more chance of divorce. I get it. Yeah. But no, actually, there's a reason for this. Now, once she has 10 plus partners, the numbers start to go back up. It goes up to around where when she had 2 partners. But then when you have more than 10 partners, the number just starts to go through the roof. You know what I'm saying? And it gets higher and higher and higher. So what we see here is, and what's said to happen is, having 2 partners may lead to a certain type of uncertainty in a female. So therefore, she would kind of start to think like, okay, well, I got this guy and then I got that guy. Hey, I wonder what's out there. And I'm kind of really curious to what else is out there. But then having a few more partners may lead to greater clarity as to who's the right man she should marry, because it's kind of like sowing her oats or something like that. All right. As we see from that chart, when the girl has fewer partners, okay, it's a certain amount of chance of divorce, but the more partners she has, it's kind of like she get to see like, okay, I didn't like that guy. I did like this guy. Okay, now I'm kind of done. All right. But what starts to happen once it get over 10 plus, that's when things start to get interesting, for lack of a better word. One way I want to frame this is look at it as men penetrate women and women are penetrated. So that's one way to look at it. And I'm going to peel back the layer a little bit, some layers a little bit with this concept. But first I want to say women admire a man who can conquer or penetrate a woman, who can get a woman, who can get lots of women. When women admire a man who other women admire and other women like and other women want to give themselves to. Women admire that kind of man, especially when he ends up choosing her or choosing to be with her. So now it's like, okay, all right, this man been with a lot of women and he chose to settle down with me or chose to be with me. You know what I'm saying? It makes her feel like a prize. It makes her feel like she won the prize. And it makes her feel special. But men, on the other hand, they don't want to be with a woman who been conquered time after time and she's unstable, or they don't want to build a foundation on instability. Look at it from the standpoint of back in the day with kings and kingdoms, right? Try to play make believe a little bit with. Look at it from this perspective. Which would you rather be a part of? Which kingdom? A kingdom that is always being conquered, unstable. Every kingdom that want to conquer this kingdom just kick in the walls and the doors and kill the king and take the women and the children and just take it over. Or a kingdom where every time another kingdom try to conquer it or penetrate it, it's built like a fortress, so nothing is happening. Everybody inside the kingdom is safe. Which kingdom would you rather be a part of? Which kingdom would you rather raise your children in? The one that can always be conquered, or the one that can't be penetrated? So you're safe. That's kind of how men feel. So you as a woman, think about it. Like, which kingdom would you rather raise children in? The kind that always conquered, or the kind that can't be penetrated? I know it's far-fetched. I get it. But just think about it using that concept. And that way you can kind of see how men are kind of thinking about it. And that way you can kind of get a better idea of, okay, how it really matters. Now, trust me, I understand that there's a double standard. Yeah, I get it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. The reason there's a double standard is this. Sex for men is hard. I don't care how good you look. It's harder than it is for a woman. Now, of course, if you one of the top tier guys and you got hundreds of women at your disposal, we're not talking about that guy. You know what I mean? Because he can have a different girl every day of the week. And we're not talking about guys that pay for it. We're not talking about that. Because, of course, if you paying for sex, you can pay for a girl as many times a day as you want, every day if you want, as long as you can afford it. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about free sex. So this is why guys get praised for having a lot of sex, because it's hard for us to have sex. We can't just walk down the street and girls are honking a horn trying to get us to go home with them and everything. It don't work like that for guys. So that's where women get it confused. For some reason, a lot of women are delusional and they think the same life that they live, guys live. Well, we live a completely different life. Girls live their life on easy mode. Guys, everything about our life is a struggle. Everything is a struggle. So what happens is when a guy has a lot of sex, other men admire that. He's like in an elite class of men, because it's like, okay, wow, how do you do that? What's the tactic? What's the strategy? Give me the method, or give me the game, or give me the hack on how to get girls or not. I mean, guys want to learn how to get girls, how to have sex with girls. I mean, obviously get girls mean to have sex, because guys don't want to get a girl just to be a friend. So what it is guys are trying to have sex. So when a guy can have a lot of sex, it's like, okay, he's admired. He's admired by the frat guy that's sleeping with a lot of girls, or the football player, or the guy in school that's, he the man because he got girls hanging. Yeah, what, y'all get the point. because it's hard to come by. So when a guy crack the code and can have a lot, he's admired. On top of the fact of women admire a guy that can have a lot of sex because it's like, wow, other women want that guy. So therefore I want him because that's how women think. Okay, all right, if other women want this situation, this person, this thing, this bag, you know what I mean? A lot of women just say, okay, well, I want that too. Um, that's how they think. Now, on the other hand, sex is easy for women. Any woman, almost any woman, can walk into a club or a bar and take a guy home that night. Any woman. Sex is easy for them. Sex is easy for y'all. So therefore, it's like, okay, a woman, I don't care how fat she is or whatever, she could walk into a club or a bar, and obviously, the better she look, the more options she'll have. But any woman can walk into a bar or club and say, hey, who want to go home with me tonight? Guys are going to be falling over trying to get her attention. Or she just play coy and wait for a guy to walk up to her and then play a little hard to get, whatever, and then, go home with the guy. It's really that easy. Couple dudes buy her drinks. Hey, she played the role of, okay, damsel in distress, or I just broke up with my boy, whatever. And a guy gonna go home with her. Just like that. So the fact that it's so easy for a woman to have sex is why she get looked down upon when she give it away so readily and so easily, because you got to protect that, because it's easy for you to have. So therefore, if you just keep giving it away, all right, well, what you want to create your value. Remember, a woman's value comes from people wanting her but can't have her. That's a woman's value. That's your value as a woman. Okay, so now it gets deeper. The Medical Institute for Sexual Health says the more sexual partners a female has, it decreases the production of a neurological chemical in the brain called oxytocin. Oxytocin. Oxytocin is produced when sex happens, when intimacy happens between people, mainly women, also in women when they breastfeed, and women when they give birth. Oxytocin is produced in the brain, and that is what creates pair bonding, the ability to bond with another. So this thing is real deep because it's more than just some women's lib or some if men can do it, we can do it. No, this is deeper than that. It's deeper than that. So think about it. So in the brain, oxytocin is being produced, and this is the chemical that's creating the ability to bond with another human. So every time sex is happening, oxytocin is being produced. Every time breastfeeding, every time any type of intimacy, this chemical is being produced to create a bond, pair bonding. So now, every time a female is having sex, bond after bond after bond is being created. So now, all these bonds keep being created, but guess what? If it's just casual and it's not long term, that means bond after bond after bond after bond is being broken. This is where the problem is coming in at. All right. So now all this oxytocin is being produced, but pair bonding is happening, but being broken. The bonds are being broken. So where the problems start to come in at is when a woman finally decides that she wants to settle down, it becomes difficult for her to pair bond. It becomes difficult for her to pair bond. So this is a bigger issue than just, oh, guys are insecure, so they don't like me, or they don't like girls with body counts because they're insecure. No. Each time you lay down with a guy, listen to me, ladies. Each time you lay down with a guy, you need to really consider, like, okay, is this a bond that I'm going to create? And is this bond going to be broken? This is happening subconsciously. So now you have to consciously start to think of this, because once you start to want to settle down and be in a long-term relationship, it's going to be difficult because you're losing or have lost the ability to pair bond. And your oxytocin production is going to be decreased because you have so many partners that it's not happening as much as it should, because the excitement is not there, which lowers the ability to pair bond. So now you find yourself trying to have relationships and they're not lasting because you're not bonding, or you're not feeling as giddy as you used to feel in relationships, or after a certain period of time, your feelings for that person are starting to diminish. Is it that person? Is it that person? Or is it, oh, I just grew out of love? Or is it that you had this high body count and you damaged your ability to pair bond? So now your body, your brain is so used to bonds being made and broken that you now need to rewire your brain. Your brain now needs to be rewired to pair bond again. So that's where that issue comes in. And it's a very serious issue because a lot of people is not aware of this. A lot of women are not aware of this happening. So a lot of these songs and this and that and everything that's saying, oh, do you, and go girl, get it, get your body count up, girl, and do you, girl, you like him, take him home, and do you. Okay. Well, guess what? It's bad for you in more ways than one. Because you can easily lie to a guy about your body count, but you can't lie to yourself about your body count. You can't lie to your brain about your body count. So think about that each time you're about to lay down with somebody. Okay, is this about to be a bond that is going to be broken? Or is this going to be a bond? Because it's different if, okay, you think you're in love, whatever the case may be, or you think this is a potential mate or somebody that you might marry or somebody that you might be in a long-term relationship with. Okay, I get it. But these are the reasons why body count matter. And the inability to pair bond is one of the reasons why a high body count, can damage your future relationships. Not because the guy is insecure or any nonsense like that. This is what y'all women need to be thinking about. This is not something for men to think about because, well, it's something for men to think about as well because, if you're going into a relationship with a woman who has a high body count, you gotta be prepared to know that this relationship might not work. This relationship might not work. So that's the reality of it. Then there's another thing called attraction triggers. Certain attraction triggers are hardwired in us. For example, women are hardwired to desire a man who can protect and provide, regardless of any type of technology, regardless of any type of security measures and police force, and that's just what women desire. So that's why women are repulsed by a man who's weak, crying all the damn time, or just as soft as her. This is why women typically desire men who are tall, strong, big, built. These are attraction triggers for women, um, guys, because the bigger, the stronger, the more dominant he is, the more of a leader he is, the taller he is. These things women desire, not because it's just like, oh, I just like him because he's tall. No, it's because she's hardwired to desire somebody who can protect her and provide for her in the wild. Somebody that can protect her from animals in the wild. That's taking it all the way back to primitive times. And those things are hardwired in us till today. Just like, so that reason, for those reasons, that's why men are hardwired to desire women that's not promiscuous. A woman that's not promiscuous means that there's no paternity uncertainty. Yeah, I get it. We have paternity tests, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it. But that don't have nothing to do with the hardwiring within us. Because guess what? Even today, if a woman get pregnant, you don't know who baby it is until it's born and you have a pregnancy test. There's no way of knowing. So obviously, if a girl has a high body count and she fit the criteria of some of the things that I mentioned earlier, she's a novelty seeker, and a guy don't know if he's the novelty. A guy don't know if she don't have no self-control, so maybe she slept with the guy at work in the parking lot. Like he don't know none of that if he knows she has a high body count, because she don't have no self-control, or he don't know what excitement she's looking for. So that's where the issue comes in at, because paternity uncertainty. And that, like I said, doesn't have anything to do with today's technology. That's just hardwired, innate feelings that biologically a man feel. And that's where a lot of the issues come in at. So we can't change a woman's perspective on wanting a man who can protect and provide. So that makes her want a guy that's tall, or that makes her attractive to a tall guy or a built guy or a muscular guy that can protect her. Or she see this guy that's not really attractive, but he got a nice car or nice houses, or he got plenty of resources. That's what makes a guy attractive to a woman, because his resources mean that he can provide. He can provide for me. So those are the reasons why women find guys attractive that are rich, but not that attractive. But he becomes attractive. It's different for a man, because a man, it don't matter how ugly a woman is or how unattractive a woman is. Just because she driving a nice car, it ain't going to make no guys attracted to her. She's still butt ugly. You know what I'm saying? Or just unattractive to him. He's not going to be, he's not going to like, oh yeah, she look good driving that Lamborghini. Like, nah, she's still unattractive to him. So that's why men are repulsed by a promiscuous woman. And that's why women are repulsed by a weak man, because a weak man can't protect her. A broke man can't provide for her. And men simply, promiscuous woman, paternity uncertainty. It's really that simple. So that's and that, though that's innate. It's hardwired in us. It don't matter about technology because women got police and secure, the armed forces, blah blah blah, to protect them, but they still desire a man that can protect. We got paternity tests, but we still desire a woman that can not ensure, but will have a lower probability of a child not being mine if I'm with this woman. All right. So that's that with that. Now, another thing I want to say briefly is that aside from all the different reasons that having a high body count can be damaging to a relationship, having a high body count can be damaging to a female psyche, having a high body count can alter whether a guy want to marry you or not. I do want to point out that I feel as though if a woman is in the adult industry and money is the motivator of why she has a high body count, whether she's an adult movie star or whether she make adult movies or whether she's an escort or whether she's a, I don't know, sugar baby, which is still an escort. Actually, it's the lowest form of escort because that's to escorts, a sugar baby is like the dumb escort. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dumb escort. You know what I mean? But that's a topic for another time. Um, but to touch briefly on that is just it's the dumb escort because those are girls that don't really know their value or their worth. So they're kind of like wasting their time uh, for a lot less money. But whatever. I'll talk about that maybe one day. But the point that I'm making is that if girls are motivated by money and they racking up their body count because they making money, I don't know if that has some type of correlation with the same things that I'm talking about because it's like, hey, they're not planning on making a bond. They're not creating a bond. They're making money. They're making money. They're making money. They're making money. Now, of course, it could damage some things in the psyche because it's so many different guys. And then, they're being with guys that's married, escorts and sugar babies or whatever. They're being with guys that's married. So when they get married, it could damage their trust issues and all that. Okay, I'm sure it can have all those kind of issues. But I think if it's motivated by money, then it might have less damage than if it's just a regular girl that's just liking this guy or liking that guy and liking this guy and forming bonds and breaking them and pairing bonds and breaking them and breaking them and and then she try to settle down. I think that might be different. I just wanted to touch base on that briefly. Thank you for watching this episode of the Mike Watts Show. As usual, you can hit me up in the DMs if you got any topics that you want me to talk about. Also, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about some of the things that I talked about. Also, I want to touch base because a lot of people been hitting me on the DM, wanting me to talk about certain topics and also asking me questions. I apologize for not getting back to you sooner. It's just that I've been getting flooded with a lot of messages, and also I do everything myself. I alluded to that before. I do everything myself. And so I don't even really to get content out as quick as I would like to. But I definitely want to let y'all know that has been hitting me up that I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all hitting me up. And I definitely didn't forget about you. It's just I'm super busy. And I definitely will get back to you. I definitely will touch base on some of the topics that y'all been suggesting and also yeah, everything like that. So remember to like, share, and subscribe always. So that way, and hit the notification button. That way you can get a notification. And definitely share it and subscribe because the algorithm, yada 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 yada. Y'all know the deal. Come on. And yeah, that's on that note, that's about it. So with that, we're signing off. Peace.
I'm just living my life. 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 I'm just living my life.